folks, and welcome to NBA All-Star Weekend, where we will see all the stars in La La Land at the Staples Center. Yes, this year we will see all the stars as usual, but in LA, as we will fan the audience, we will definitely see people like Jack and probably Paris and maybe Chris Rock, Ashton Kutcher taking pictures with his little camera and everything else goofy like that. Might even see Eva Longoria because Tony Parker won't be there, so maybe she'll show up. And of course, I'm sure we'll see Kim Kardashian picking out a new boyfriend from the selection of all-stars out on the court. My over-under this year isn't for the all-star game itself, but how many pro basketball players get to bang Kim Kardashian in 2011? Anyway, let's get into the game. We got the All-Stars East and the All-Stars West in the All-Star game. The East is favored by 1.5, and I got to believe that's because of the Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron James factor in the East, as they will be coached by Doc Rivers and will include 4 Celtics on the team with Rajon Rondo, an aging Ray Allen, an aging Paul Pierce, and a very aging Kevin Garnett, which possibly all 4 could be on the court at once, and that just might be a little dig against the Lakers to have all 4 Celtics out there. Either way, let me break this down for you. In the East, the starting lineups are Dwayne Wade, Derrick Rose, who has been on fire lately, LeBron James of Dwayne Wade's team in Miami, Amari Stoudemire, who went left coast to right coast, west to east to join the Knicks, and has become an all-star because basically, well, who else did the Knicks have? Dwight Howard will be at the center position in the starting 5 of the All-Stars in the East. Now, here's where it gets a little difficult, and here's where it gets a little bit of a problem for the East. Backups, point guard, Rajon Rondo had problems with his ankle most of the season, has been playing every other game at some points. Rajon Rondo is the youngest of the backups here for the East, and probably one of the most productive, which is sad because when you look at the rest of the East backups, you have Ray Allen, you have Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Chris Bosh, and Al Horford at center as the backup center. Not a young group back there, and I'll be honest with you, that matters in the All-Star game because of rotation. There's no real defense played, but there's a lot of energy exerted on the offensive side. And they're just as deep as they may sound and as deep as they may look, they're also very old. Now, in the West, we have Kobe Bryant in the starting 5, who definitely is getting up there in years, but he's at home. And remember, at home, he likes to show off. And in L.A., we will see a lot of scoring out of Kobe Bryant, which always makes that over of 268 or 269, I think it's at now, very attractive. And you can go with that. It is the sexy pick to take the over every year in the All-Star game, but that's not where we're going to be this year. Geno-t is going to put you on a little something else. Let me finish now with the West. Chris Paul at guard also. Shooting small forward, we're going to have Carmelo Anthony, Kevin the Durantula Durant, and Yao Ming. Yes, there are more people in China that vote for Yao Ming, which is why he is actually on the All-Star ballot. The guy hasn't even hardly played this year. I don't think he's played 1 or 2 games. He's hurt. He's not even playing in the All-Star game, yet he gets voted in. And obviously it just shows how the All-Star game in the NBA is pretty much a popularity contest. And yes, he is still popular in China. Backups now for the West, and this is the key factor here in my decision. We have Russell Westbrook, monster. Manu Ginobili, who, yes, is up there in age. He's been with the Spurs for a while, and he's got his Italian yarmulke going, much like Geno-t does, but that doesn't stop him. As we know, Geno-t gets stronger every year. D. Will, Deron Williams, my boy from the Utah Jazz, who will be backing up Chris Paul. Incidentally, backed him up in the draft back in 2005, as he was picked directly, actually before Chris Paul. And either way, to have those kind of guards backing each other up, come on, let's face it, that's a pretty strong backcourt. Also, Tim Duncan, who is the oldest member of the All-Star game, he's 34. He is also the oldest member on the West, but he looks refreshed and revived as we've seen him during the season, playing strong as always. Dirk Nowitzki, great big man, good outside three-point shooter. Blake Griffin, guy's been unstoppable. It's been a double-double monster. Unfortunately, he plays for the Clippers, but we don't see a lot of him. But you will see a lot of him in this game. Look for him to be a key component and highlighted in this game. Pau Gasol, another guy who's playing basically at home in the Staples Center. Blake Griffin, too. Don't forget he's playing at home, too, because the Clippers play in the Staples Center. It's kind of like the Giants and the Jets in New York. You know what I mean? Kevin Love. No love for Kevin sometimes because he is very underrated. Another powerful guy at the power forward position. People, the West is just loaded with young, powerful, great, strong talent that is going to overshadow the East. And let's put it this way. From what I hear, Doc Rivers, and don't get me wrong, I love Doc Rivers. He's a great coach. And I know some of you guys out there, Mad Dog Matter and my buddy, big Celtic fan, you might get to see 4 Celtics on the floor at once. Sounds great. In reality, it looks good on paper. However, on the court, you're looking at basically 3 old guys and Rajon Rondo, who's kind of beat up a little bit going into this game. I look for the West to take this game over at some point. It could be close. However, they're getting a 1.5, and the West they're going to win this game outright. Trust me on this one, okay? As sure as the Stars will be in the seats, the West will win this game in the Staples Center on Sunday at 8 o'clock when the game tips off. People, go with the West. Take the 1.5. I had some pretty strong picks going into this week. I didn't post any of them, but I've been kind of playing around with them, trying to hit the ground running so I can perfect my little schemes that I use to bet the NBA, to help you to make money like we did in football. I'm not going to give you wrong advice. Although I know there's some people out there, like my good buddy Gino Bisconti, who was out west this past week doing some shows in Phoenix and Reno, and I was giving him some picks, and some of them he took, some of them he didn't. The ironic thing is the nights I was hot, he didn't put anything in. Sorry, buddy, man. I'm trying out there. And then I gave him the couple times I picked Utah, and Utah's just not the team that they used to be when Jerry Sloan was there. Most importantly, Carlos Boozer when he was there. So anyway, that's minutia. You really don't care. What you want to know is who to take. And I'm telling you to take the West, take the 1.5, and take it is.